Yo, what up, everybody? It's me, Trickster Shadow. This is some gameplay I have in the background from like either the first or second day of the P2B after I got the P3. I just have it on the background while we talk about some of the changes that Behavior has actually announced for the new upcoming chapter. They being very transparent, which is something I think should be celebrated because one of the big complaints that I have and a lot of people have with Behavior and the devs is that they're not as transparent with a lot of things that they do. And so them being transparent and telling us what they're going to do before they even do it, I think should be applauded because that's a very good step in the direction to make the community feel a lot more heard, make the community feel a lot more included and just better as a whole. And so they tweeted out earlier today, and they said that they're going to be changing some things in the chapter from the test build live, and that they wanted to tell us the changes before they even hit the live servers, which I really enjoy. I really appreciate. And starting off, we got some changes to the Trickster, the Killer. The first change is to the main event. The main event automatically throws blades when activated and can be canceled early. And so I think a lot of people are kind of glossing over this and they don't actually know what this means. Uh, Either because they didn't play the killer or because they just want to be angry. I really don't know. It seems like a lot of people just like want to shit on this killer just for the sake of shitting on this killer. But I wanted to explain what this actually means. So I'm very quickly. I just have this is just a video file. I'm not going to be editing this just because I have to go live on my stream soon. I just wanted to push out this video real quick. So what this actually means, this is just a video, or this is just a game from my matches, of course, from the PTB. But what this actually means, here's a good example. So here's somebody going for the save. I start throwing my knives, and then I go over to my power. Now, right here, automatically, it would switch over to the double knife throwing rate. And I would also, another one of the changes is that you no longer will lose knives when you're in your main event. So right now, I would stay at 45 knives because my main event activated, and on the live build, of course. And I would start throwing at double the rate automatically. But from the PTB, if you wanted to do your main event, you can see I activate it here, and this is 347 on the clip. And then at about 349, 350 is when my main event actually kicks in, and I can start throwing the knives at double the rate. And so what this means is that, see, like here is when my main event activates. I would be able to throw double the knives at this person and possibly be able to down them before they can even get away from this car. And then I'd be able to whip around and go after the person that just got off this hook. So with that change alone, it's going to make it to where when people group up or when people go for one-for-ones, the Trickster is going to be a lot more deadly because you can't separate as much when you go for the saves. So it's going to make the killer a lot more deadly in groups, and it's going to be a very, very substantial buff and very substantial change. And I wish more people would realize it because people are saying like, oh, this is really bad. And the fact that you can also, they said in the tweet that you can cancel the power early means that, say like you take over your power, but you want to pocket it. Say you want to like 99 it so that you can use it later. You can do that a lot easier, and you can manage your power with a lot more ease, making it to where you can actually pocket your power for moments where people are one-for-oneing or when people are grouping up at a gen or grouping up for heal, stuff like that. And so they made the power a lot more manageable, and they made it activate a lot faster, making it a lot better against groups of people, which I really enjoy, and I think it makes it a lot better and a lot better than people are saying. At least personally. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Maybe I'm the crazy one. I don't think I am, though. Also, another change that they're making is that the trick blades, which these are the ricochet ones that bounce off the walls, and they're making it to where it doesn't do bonus laceration damage. And the reason why they're nerfing it in that way is because people were just hitting by the by people's feet uh, with the ricochets. So it would ricochet off the ground under somebody's foot and then hit them, and it would do bonus damage, and it's pretty much uncounterable, and it would just make it to where they only needed like 4 blades in order to down somebody, and it was very unfun to play against. Just trust me on that one, because like it seemed like 8 blades of injury is a lot, but when you're getting knives thrown at you, it can add up pretty quickly, especially with the main event. And to compensate for them nerfing, they're making it through where the ricochet bounces off twice instead of just once. So it just keeps on dinking off the walls a bunch. And then moving on from that change, we have improved feedback on the main event cooldown. So basically, the cooldown, we can go back to that one clip I showed earlier of the main event. So here's the main event happening, and then it's about to go away. And so I'm guessing the improved cooldown is just that maybe it doesn't like slow you down as much. I don't know. I really don't know what that means. It's kind of vague, but I'm guessing that they made some quality of life change to the cooldown on that. And then they improved the laceration meter on the portraits, which the laceration meter, you can be able to see if I'm going after somebody. So like right here, you can see on the left-hand side, if it fills up the circle, then like that's when the person's injured. But it's kind of hard to see. It's kind of hard to make out. So apparently they made that a little bit easier to distinguish. Fix some bugs, of course, which is very nice, very welcome change. Fixing some bugs because there's a lot of bugs that usually in PTBs, but this PTB wasn't that bad in my opinion. Uh, Other changes that they're making a change to smash hit, which is the exhaustion perk. When you stun a killer, you break into a sprint. They're making it go to up to 4 seconds, which makes this the longest exhaustion perk, which you can see in this video. It is actually insane how far that they can get. It's kind of bad quality because it's Twitter compression, but they stun the clown, and they're still sprint bursting, sprint bursting, still sprint bursting, and they just end right there. So you can get really far away with it, but of course you're having to use a resource and you're having to try to depend on a stun. So I understand why this is a little bit better because I believe sprint burst is 3 seconds and lithe is 3 seconds, and a single second makes a lot of a difference, especially when you're going that fast. This makes it to where you can get to like an extra tile away with that extra speed. And I understand like why this is because like hits or hits through pallets can happen a lot, so pallet stunning is a bit risky, and you're throwing away resources in order to get your exhaustion perk to activate. So it makes sense why this perk's a little bit better than in terms of like speed boost and like sprint burst and stuff like that because there's more risk to it. So I believe this is a very meaningful buff. I think this is actually a really interesting perk. I can't wait to see people use it. And then self-preservation now also hides pools of blood and grunts of pain, which is very nice. This is a good change to the perk. And then we got changes to Starstruck and No Way Out, which is the killer changes. I don't know if anybody's still going to use self-preservation. We'll see. But anyways, Starstruck, this is the change that I wanted for the perk, which is really, I'm really glad that they did this change. And Starstruck, basically, this is the carrying one. Or if you're carrying the survivor and there's somebody else within your tear radius, then they become exposed. They're making it to where if you're within the tear radius, you pretty much stay at 30 seconds exposed until the killer either hooks the person or you leave the tear radius. Previously, it would just start ticking down from 30 seconds if you enter the tear radius at all. This is really good, and it now has a cooldown of 60 seconds to compensate. But 60 seconds, yeah. If you down 2 people within 60 seconds and put them on hook within 60 seconds, I don't think the cooldown matters. You're doing pretty well anyways. The cooldown really doesn't matter. But I think this is a very meaningful change because this makes it to where the perk is a lot more interesting and adds a lot more intense moments to the game, to where the killer can actually hook somebody, and then after they hook somebody, then the 30-second timer starts of them being able to like chase somebody down and try to down them. And 30 seconds is enough to like loop the killer a little bit if you have the proper resources. And if you already know they have the power, then you can make distance anyways. So I think this power is in a pretty good place right now. And I'm very curious to see how people use it and how it like works its way into people's builds and meta and things like that. And then No Way Out. This is the door blocking one at the end of the game. It blocks the door panels where people can't interact with them after the gates are powered. And now has a base time of 10 seconds. So even before you hook everybody, previously you had to hook each survivor, and each unique survivor would give you 10 seconds, I believe, to blocking the doors. Now has a base time of 10 seconds to where no matter what, even if you don't hook anybody, it'll block it for 10 seconds. And then for each unique hook that you get, it'll add 8 seconds at level 3, which I believe is, oh man, I'm doing quick math. I believe that is a 2-second? Yeah, that's a 2-second buff. So we saw some people complaining that this is a nerf, but no, it's actually like a 2-second buff to it. They're just making it where the bare minimum of the perk actually like does something, which I guess I don't really see like why to change it like that, but it doesn't really affect the perk that much anyways, and it's a slight buff. I'll take it. So yeah, all in all, I think these are really good changes. I think that the devs did a really good job with this chapter so far. Of course, maybe something will change on live. Maybe I'll hate it. Maybe it'll be terrible. But I think that the changes, especially to the Trickster, are very understated by a lot of people and by a lot of content creators that I've been seeing lately. I don't think a lot of people understand what the main event automatically throwing blades and being able to cancel early. I don't think people understand what that actually means for the power and what that actually means for the meta. And I think as soon as people play around with it and as soon as they're able to mess around with it and see how it works, I think they'll begin to realize the power of the Trickster, and they'll be able to see how wrong they are in saying that the Trickster is weak and the Trickster was too weak on release and stuff like that. And so I would love to hear your guys' opinions. If you have any opinions, if you don't agree with me, if you agree with me, if you have some hidden meta that you want to discuss about the Trickster, I would love to hear about it in the comments down below, or on my Twitter or my Discord. All the links to that down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. If you want to hop over to my stream, I'll be streaming right now. Not playing the PTB, obviously, but just playing some regular DBD and doing killer requests. So if you want to pop in, talk about this video, talk about the meta with me, I would love to see you. All right, bye, everyone. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.